Listen to me carefully, because what I am about to tell you may determine whether you conquer or collapse. This is not just a speech. This is a wake-up call, a warning, a preparation. Because the truth is, the world you live in does not care about your emotions. It does not wait for your healing. It does not pause for your breakdown. Life will throw storms at you without mercy, and if your mind is untrained, you will drown before anyone even notices you're sinking. People think power is noise. They think shouting means strength, that reacting means resistance. But let me tell you the truth no one taught you. Calmness is the highest form of control. The calm man is dangerous. The calm woman is untouchable. Because when the mind is calm, you see through manipulation. You see through chaos. You move with precision, not panic. You lead while others chase shadows. Some of you have been slaves to your emotions for years, shaking at every confrontation, breaking at every betrayal, losing your temper, losing your focus, losing your way. That ends today. Today, we tear down the excuses. Today, we train the mind, not for comfort, but for war. Not to escape life, but to face it head on, unshaken. You want to succeed? Train your mind. You want peace? Train your mind. You want to stop being played, provoked, or controlled? Then train your mind, because no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to fix your emotions. The battle for your destiny is inside your thoughts, and only you can win it. By the end of this speech, you will not walk out the same. If you stay with me, if you listen with your soul and not just your ears, something in you will shift. You will stop being the victim of life, and you will become the master of your response. And when that happens, when your mind becomes calm, steady, and unbreakable, there is nothing this world can throw at you that you won't overcome. So sit up, focus. This is the training your future has been waiting for. They told you to stay calm, but they never told you how. They told you to hold your peace, but they never showed you what it costs to carry peace in a world of war. I need you to understand, calmness is not a mood. It's not a luxury. It's not a luxury. It is a weapon. It is one of the rarest forms of strength, forged only in the heat of chaos. And if you don't train your mind to use it, life will use your emotions against you every single time. You think you're strong because you shout louder than your enemy? You think you're winning because you react faster than your opposition? Let me tell you something. The loudest person in the room is often the weakest. The most reactive is usually the most insecure. Because power doesn't flinch. Power doesn't scream. Power doesn't panic. Power stands still when the wind rages. Power watches the fire burn and walks through it without blinking. Calmness is that kind of power. Chaos is not your enemy. It is your test. You say you want discipline, but how do you respond when you're pushed? You say you want peace, but do you protect it when life gives you a reason to explode? Because the real examination of your mind is not found in your comfort zone. It is found in the fire, in the betrayal, in the crisis, in the unexpected insult. In the moment you were disrespected and had every reason to retaliate, but didn't. That's when we see who's really in control. You or your emotions. People walk around with anxiety because their minds have never been trained to slow down. They run into arguments, jump into drama, respond to everything and everyone with unfiltered energy, and then wonder why they feel so drained. Let me make it clear, an untrained mind is a slave mind. It doesn't lead, it follows, it reacts, it fears. It falls apart the moment things don't go as planned. And if that's where you are right now, then it's time to shift. Time to go from reactive to ready, from triggered to trained, from broken to balanced. Your calm is your strategy. Your stillness is your shield. The world will throw darts, insults, distractions. Don't dodge them. Absorb nothing. Don't give your attention to noise. Your response determines your survival. You cannot afford to give energy to everything. Not every battle is yours. Not every opinion deserves your presence. Not every insult requires a reaction. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer. And only a calm mind can choose silence when the flesh demands fury. You see, most people fail not because they weren't smart enough, not because they lacked talent, but because they didn't have the inner discipline to remain calm in crisis. They let panic make their decisions. They let pressure make them fold. They lost control of their mouth, their reactions, their minds, so they lost control of their path. You, if you're hearing me, you're not here to collapse, you're here to conquer. And you must learn to conquer your own chaos before you conquer anything out there. Every great leader, every great warrior, every wise voice that left its mark on this world, they mastered this. They trained their mind in solitude so it would not break in public. They practiced quiet strength when no one was watching, so when the crowd shouted, they didn't flinch. That's your calling now, to build your mind into a fortress, to sit in the storm with steady eyes, to be surrounded by noise but unmoved by it. I need you to stop seeing discomfort as punishment. Stop seeing hardship as attack. Start seeing it as training. Life is not attacking you, it's preparing you. That pressure is not your enemy, it's your mentor. It's building something inside of you that cannot be shaken. If you learn to stay calm while the pressure is on, the world won't be able to take that calm from you. That's when you've won. That's when you've become untouchable. So when they lie on you, stay calm. When they abandon you, stay calm. When they misunderstand you, stay calm. Not because you're weak, but because you're too focused on building a future to waste energy reacting to a past. Because you're not ruled by your environment, you're ruled by your vision. And that vision requires a mind that cannot be moved by noise. Calm is not passive. It's not quiet for the sake of quiet. It's powerful because it is chosen. And you must choose it again and again until your enemies are confused by your silence, until your storms fear your stillness, until your mind becomes your strongest ally and not your biggest enemy. Train your mind until your presence speaks louder than your words. You want to lead a powerful life, but your thoughts are scattered. You want to change the world, but you haven't yet conquered your own. Before you fix the outer, you must master the inner. You see, everyone wants influence, but no one wants self-governance. Everyone wants peace in their home, in their business, in their community, but they haven't found peace in their own head. And that's the root of the problem. Because no matter how much you try to control what's around you, if your mind is unstable, everything you touch will reflect that instability. Instability. Your mind is not a playground. It is a battlefield. And either you are ruling it, or you are being ruled. You cannot afford to let your emotions run wild. You cannot allow every thought to build a home in your head. Because if you don't take control, something else will, anger will, fear will. Doubt will, insecurity will. And before you know it, you're walking through life reacting instead of creating, surviving instead of ruling. We've been conditioned to look outward. We want to control people, situations, outcomes. But true power doesn't begin out there. It starts inside. A person who has mastered their internal climate cannot be broken by external storms. You can't manipulate someone who knows how to center themselves. You can't intimidate someone who has trained their emotions to submit to wisdom. The world doesn't need more reactors. It needs rulers. And the throne you must first sit on is the one inside your own mind. Look around. People are carrying chaos everywhere they go because they haven't dealt with the chaos within. They're loud, but they're lost. They look confident, but they're controlled by impulses. They want to build legacies, but their minds are built on sand. If your thoughts are constantly shifting, you will never stand strong. If your feelings dictate your behavior, your destiny will be delayed again and again. You have to train your mind to obey truth, not emotion. Feelings lie. Truth does not. And unless you separate the two, you'll keep living in circles. Your emotions are not supposed to lead, they are supposed to follow. They are signals, not steering wheels. But too many people let a temporary feeling dictate a permanent decision. One moment of anger destroys years of trust. One moment of fear births a lifetime of regret. One moment of weakness gives birth to a lifetime of bondage. And it's not because they were evil, it's because they were untrained. Their mind was undisciplined, their inner world ungoverned. And so their outer world collapsed. You say you want to elevate. Then discipline your mind. Start there. Stop letting every thought have power. Not every thought is true. Not every emotion is a command. Some things rise just to test if you will bow to them, but you must rise higher. You must choose stillness over chaos, vision over reaction, wisdom over impulse. Because when your inner world is aligned, your outer world starts to shift with it. You make better choices. You walk in clarity. You see what others miss because you're not blinded by emotional fog. You can't pour clean water from a dirty cup. You can't lead others if you're always at war with yourself. You want to inspire your family, your team, your generation. Then become the master of your emotional climate. Let people feel peace just by standing near you. Let your presence become a safe place because your mind is ruled by purpose, not panic. This isn't about pretending to be calm. It's about becoming someone who doesn't get shaken easily. Someone who doesn't need to react to prove a point. Someone who knows that true power is often quiet, often still, but always intentional. That kind of power doesn't come from books or speeches. It comes from practice. Daily discipline, intentional silence, knowing when to speak and when to be still. Knowing how to sit with pain without letting it control you. Knowing how to feel everything but not let anything rule over you. When you train your mind to be your servant and not your master, you unlock a level of freedom that most people will never touch. You're no longer a slave to people's opinions, to changing circumstances, to unexpected problems. You walk through life with a deeper clarity, not because life is easier, but because your foundation is stronger. You're not here to be easily shaken. You're not here to be tossed around by every emotion that visits you. You are here to rule, and that rulership begins within. So before you try to influence anything out there, start by mastering the one territory you'll carry everywhere you go, your mind. Because once you conquer your inner world, the outer world no longer has the power to conquer you. The world will always give you something to react to. Always. It doesn't matter how much you grow, how much you pray, how much you plan, life will keep pressing your buttons. People will test you. Situations will surprise you. Circumstances will stretch you. But here's what separates the weak from the strong. The weak react, the strong rule. The weak respond to everything that moves. The strong choose what's worth their energy. If you don't learn this, you will live your entire life being a puppet pulled by invisible strings. Your peace stolen by whoever decides to provoke you that day. There's a reason the enemy doesn't always try to destroy you directly. He just tries to get a reaction out of you. Because if he can make you lose control, you'll destroy yourself. It's not always the punch that knocks you out. It's the swing you threw back that left you open. So understand this. Every time something triggers you, you're being invited to either stoop down or rise up. And what you choose in that moment will shape your path far more than the situation itself. You've got to decide what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be the one who's always pulled into arguments, always offended, always explaining yourself to people who don't even value the truth? Or do you want to be the one who rises above the noise, who doesn't need to prove anything, who moves in silence and power because you've trained your emotions not to rule you? You cannot be both. People around you are watching how you carry yourself under pressure. They are watching how you handle disrespect, how you respond to delay, how you react when you're misunderstood. And whether you know it or not, the way you respond reveals who really has the power in your life. If every critic can break your focus, they own you. If every comment can ignite your anger, if every disappointment makes you spiral, you're not in control, the world is. But when you stop reacting and start ruling, everything changes. A calm mind doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you feel, but you don't let those feelings hijack your direction. It means you know how to sit in the storm without letting the storm sit in you. It means your peace is not conditional, it's rooted. And when your peace is rooted, your power becomes untouchable. You're not moved by every wind. Look, you're not shaken by every wave. You've built yourself on something deeper than emotion. And that kind of strength silences chaos without ever raising its voice. This is not about being passive. It's about being precise. Some of you waste too much time reacting to things that don't even deserve your breath. You're giving your power away, one emotional outburst at a time. Stop giving access to things that are beneath your purpose. Not every battle is yours. Not every invitation needs a reply. Sometimes the greatest flex is silence. Sometimes the most powerful move is no move at all. Learn to observe without absorbing. Learn to hear without reacting. Learn to feel without responding. That is the discipline of the calm mind. And it's not easy, but it is necessary. Because once you master the art of internal calm, no one can bait you, shake you, or play you. You begin to walk in a presence that commands respect. Not because you demanded it, but because you embody it. When you are calm, your decisions become sharper. Your presence becomes heavier. Your words carry weight. You're no longer speaking just to speak. You're speaking from a place of clarity, of direction, of grounded purpose. And that changes everything. People feel it. Environments shift. Opportunities align. Doors open, not because you fought louder, but because you moved smarter. That's the difference. The truth is, most people are not losing battles. They're losing control. They're losing to their reactions. They're being defeated not by the size of the problem, but by the weight of their emotions. But if you truly want to rise, you must decide today that you will not be mastered by feelings. You will feel, yes. You will hurt, yes. But you will not be moved by everything that tries to move you. You will choose what gets your energy. You will decide what deserves your response. You will lead your life, not be dragged through it by chaos. Because when you stop reacting and start ruling, the enemy loses access to you. The noise loses its power. And the world begins to realize that you are not just another person caught in the storm. You are the one who is the calm within it. Calmness is not something you stumble into. It's not gifted to the lucky. It doesn't come wrapped in ease or delivered through silence. It is forged, shaped through fire, pressure, and intentional discipline. You don't become calm by wishing for it. You become calm by working for it. And make no mistake, it is work. Because every day, the world is trying to pull you in 1,000 directions. Every day, something will try to trigger you, provoke you, distract you, and if your mind isn't trained, you'll fall into reaction mode before you even realize it. Most people live in reaction mode. They move based on emotion. They wake up and check their phone, and immediately their mood belongs to a message, a notification, a headline. They let the world set their tone. They respond to life instead of ruling over it. And they wonder why they feel so drained, so anxious, so unanxious. It's because their mind has never been trained to obey discipline over emotion. But if you want peace, if you want real clarity, if you want strength that can't be stolen, then you must train for it like a warrior trains for war. That means you wake up and choose stillness before the noise comes. That means you silence your mind before the world starts screaming. That means you prepare your response before the pressure hits, so you don't collapse under it when it does. Training doesn't begin in crisis. It begins in the quiet. And if you're not training in peace, you will break in war. You must learn how to sit with your own thoughts and not run from them. You must learn to tame your urges, control your impulses, and silence the lies that rise up from within. That doesn't happen by accident. That comes from repetition, discipline. Building routines that align your mind with truth instead of letting it drift into fear. You don't just hope to become calm, you build calmness into your system, into your habits, into your daily life. Some people build muscles, some build wealth. But the wise, the ones who last, they build inner strength, the kind that doesn't shake when the world does, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself, the kind that's built in the dark when no one is watching. The calmness you see in someone who has mastered themselves is not born in easy places. It's born in fire. It's earned. And here's the truth. Your life will rise or fall to the level of your training. If your mind has been trained to panic, it will panic every time something goes wrong. If your mind has been trained to lash out, you will lose opportunities in relationships before you even understand why. But if your mind has been trained to pause, to observe, to act from wisdom and not from fear, then no storm can touch your foundation. It's easy to react. Anyone can shout back. Anyone can slam doors and storm out. That's not strength. That's undisciplined emotion pretending to be power. True power is when you could destroy something, but you choose to build instead. True strength is when you could speak, but you choose silence because silence protects your peace. And that kind of power doesn't come from talent. It comes from training. You must wake up each day and discipline your thoughts the way a soldier disciplines his body. When fear tries to rise, you check it. When doubt speaks, you replace it. When anger knocks, you don't let it in. Not because you're perfect, but because you've trained too hard to let emotion undo you. You've fought too long to give your peace away for free. You've suffered too much to let a moment steal your future. You must become ruthless with your mind. Ruthless with the distractions, with the negative thoughts, with the old patterns. You must confront them daily and say, you no longer run this house, because your mind is a house, and what lives in it determines everything. Keep it clean, keep it guarded, keep it trained. Keep it trained, because no matter what your talent is, no matter how gifted you are, if your mind is wild, your life will be too. Most people think the battlefield is outside, in the job, in the conflict, in the pressure. But the real war is internal. It's your thoughts, your triggers, your inner dialogue. That's the place you must master. That's where the real victory is won. And if you build your calmness like a warrior builds muscle, daily, deliberately, without excuse, then one day the storm will come, and you won't even flinch. Because when you've trained your mind to be calm, the chaos around you becomes irrelevant.